It's 3 o'clock. Prynawn da, croeso I chi gyd. Good afternoon and welcome to this virtual Planning and Development Committee of the 11th of January 2024. Are there any declarations of interest? No. Could I get a motion, please, to observe the Human Rights Act?
Happy to move, Chair.
I'll second that, Chair.
Thanks, and all in favour? Yep, thank you, members. And could I also get a motion, please, to observe the Wellbeing and Future Generations Act?
Move, Chair.
I'll second that, Chair.
Thanks, and all in favour, members? And could I get a motion, please, to accept the minutes of the meeting of the 23rd of November 2023 as a correct record of that meeting?
I move as a correct record, Chair.
Is that seconded?
I'll second that, Chair.
Thanks. And all members in favour? Thank you. Okay, we move on to the agenda now. Councillor Ross Williams.
Thank you, Chair. Just to make you aware, at 15:40, I have an online consultation with a clinician. So it's only going to take me 10 minutes. So I'm going to have to ask for permission to just go off camera and use my phone, and then I'll obviously step out of whichever item we're on.
Okay. Thanks for letting us know, Councillor.
Thank you, Chair.
We will reorder today's agenda so I can accommodate, or we can accommodate, public speakers. So the first item we will be considering today is item 9 on your agendas, which starts at page 77 of your bundle. And that is application number 230953. This is for change of use and the erection of a 1.8 metre high timber fencing at 308 Park Road, Cwmparc. Now, I believe we have 2 public speakers on this item. The first one being the applicant, who is Ms. Kaylee Rizzoli. Is Ms. Rizzoli with us?
She looks like she's joined the meeting, but no.
I can't see. Oh,
hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Oh,
okay.
Sorry, couldn't get the audio working then.
Okay. Well, you've got 5 minutes to address the committee when you're ready. I've got you down as Rizzoli, and
yeah, this is set up in my maiden name.
Right. Okay. Fine. Okay, just so I'm clear. Okay, when you're ready,
it is
5 minutes to address the committee. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, guys. I just thought it would be worth me just quickly explaining the situation that we find ourselves in and why we're applying for retrospective consent. We lease the land adjacent to 308 from the council. The user clause in our tenancy states that the land is to be used for garden use only. It further states we're to supply and maintain boundary fence along the perimeter of the land. Prior to enclosing the land, we sought advice from the council as to whether planning consent would be required, and we received a written response stating that we didn't need consent. I also then followed that up with a phone call just to double check, and I was told, yeah, I did not need planning permission. So as such then, obviously I relied on that information given, and at considerable expense to ourselves, we cleared the ground and then erected the boundary fence. Following the completion of the works, a neighbour has then made a complaint to the planning enforcement team. They then visited the site and advised us that we did need to obtain planning consent for the works. They did, however, say, and they did acknowledge at that time, that we had not done anything incorrect in relying on the advice we had been given up until that point. We do not think this is the correct forum, obviously, to detail the actions taken by our neighbour in trying to intimidate to remove the fence, and we just want to resolve this matter in the proper way. Not wanting to contravene planning laws, we immediately applied for retrospective consent for the works carried out on the land, as can be seen, I'm sure in front of you in the report. We do not wish to put ourselves in a position of being in breach of planning law or use of the land, and we believe we have acted in good faith from the outset and will continue to do so. We wish it to be noted that our actions were as a result of advice received, and had we been advised that planning consent was needed before erecting the fence, we would have applied for this at that time. It's unfortunate that we are in the position we are now in, and would hope that you can appreciate we have acted properly and can approve the recommendations contained within the report and approve our application. And that's all I really wanted to say, really, and just wanted to thank you all for listening.
Okay. Thanks. Thank you very much for that. I'll now go to the second speaker I have registered, and that's Mr. Fred Tucker.
Yeah. All right, can I ask a question before the meeting, before I read these comments out?
No, you've got 5 minutes to address the committee, Mr. Tucker.
All right, okay, right. Objections against 308 Park Road for putting up a fence without planning permission, when around Park Road, and we got a petition we taken around Park Road, and we got 47 objections.
Mr. Tucker, I can't actually see you.
Sit
down a minute, Fred.
We'll start from the beginning, isn't it?
No, there we are.
Right, and that's a total of 53 objections against the fence of our neighbours in 1 week. That includes 7 objections in our street. The day they moved in, they said to him, how did you get the land? He said his wife's auntie works for the council and she had it for them as an allotment. I have phoned cooperative estates, and they said he had it only as allotment, and they knew nothing about a 6-foot fence. They said he only had it as an allotment. On the 21st of the 8th, I looked out of my kitchen window, and I had a shock. He was putting up a fence and blocking my view. I have had for 40 years, and he blocked my view of the bus turning at the top when I used to wait until the bus turned and then go up and catch it. It's now I can't see nothing out at all. And I said to him, I'm going to phone the planning department. Are you putting up a 6-foot fence? And he said, if you do that, what if I got to take it down? Right? That is his words. I phoned the department and told them he said that what he had said, that if I got in contact with them, that he'd have to take it down. Another day there were 5 people on top of the hill, 2 from 308 Park Road and 2 family members and an enforcement officer. He had told them the fence is on a highway, and the height of the fence on the highway is 1 meter. The enforcement officer phoned me and told me the following day that he had told 308 Park Road the fence is on a highway and the height is 1 meter. 308 applied to keep it at 6 foot. I'll keep it at 6 foot. It was turned down. They have changed the name of the fence 4 times. How can they apply to erect the fence when the fence was put up on the 21st of the 8th, 23 without planning permission? Yep. They still have not got planning permission. Martin Fowley confirmed that they still do not have planning permission now. I'm objecting against Highway Inspector's comments of no objections with recommending approval. How can he recommend a fence that has not got planning permission? How can he go against the enforcement officer when he said it's on an highway, on the highway, on the height of the highway fence is 1 meter? The police officer said it's a highway because recycling lorries come up our street. Yep. The ex-councillors two ex-councillors said it's a recycle. If the recycling lorries collect recycling waste in your street, it's a highway. I'd like to thank 308 for his comments the day they put up the fence. What if I got to take it down? To Matthew Farley, I've said videos, and I want to know if the committee have seen them, because it's the photos of the fence from the bottom of my street, right? Then you can see it's a danger. You can't see it 3/4 way up the hill from Greenfield Terrace bottom of the hill. When dog walkers come to the bottom of the hill, there is no place to get out of the way of a car. As the fence is 6 inches off the curb, it's an accident waiting to happen. I can't see cars coming across Park Road, and they can't see cars coming out of Greenfield Terrace. I'm 84-year-old. Thank you for listening to me. I just want my view back. I've had it for 40 years. Thank you very much for listening to me.
Thank you, Mr. Tucker, for that. Ms. Rizzoli, did you want to respond to that?
Yeah, I did. Because with regard to the discussion that he's talking about with the planning enforcement officer, Michael, it wasn't two family members. It was myself, my husband, it was Paul Macy, and Michael, whose surname I can't remember. And we have never been asked to take the fence down. They told us we had acted in accordance with all the information we had been given. Highway, if you see the highway report, have all stated themselves that they are more than happy with the fence. They have no issue with it at all. They said, if anything, it actually encourages people to slow down, which is a good thing. And yeah, with regards to him speaking with my husband, I know my husband has never responded to any of his verbal abuse that he has received. So I know that is just a blatant lie. We have never changed the use. We have made one application and one application only. Our lease has never been for an allotment. I don't know where Mr. Tucker has that information from. It is not for an allotment. It is for a garden. We have a young child. That is why we needed a fence put up, obviously, for her safety. And yeah, I think that was pretty much all of what I wanted to say.
Thanks for that then. Mr. Bailey, could you present the report, please?
Yes, thank you, Chair. This is a relatively straightforward application, I must say, Chair. The proposal is, as you can see from the plan that Bethan has on the screen, the existing property is outlined in blue, and the area, the subject of the application, is that outlined in red. Perhaps if you can go across to the photographs, Bethan, please. If you go to the left step, please. There we are. So you can see, Chair, number 308, which is the end of terrace property, and the fencing that has been erected around that area. As the applicant has outlined when she's spoken, the land is being leased off the council for use as a private garden, and therefore the planning application is seeking a change of use of that area to private garden in association with the erection of the fence. To be fair to the applicant, and a copy of the communication that was sent to them by estates has been passed to planning, and it does indicate that the planning permission wouldn't be required for the fence. I think there perhaps was some confusion from estate's point of view in terms of the height of the fence, because fronting a highway, if it was less than a metre, wouldn't require planning permission. That's not to say that a fence in excess of a metre is unacceptable. It's just that it does require planning permission. And as you can see from that photograph and a couple that we'll come to, Chair, the fence is no higher than the original boundary wall. And as you look down Greenfield Terrace, the height of the walls to the rear of those properties. Actually, we just go back to the photograph you're on, Bethan, please. That's the one. the objector did raise issues about the visibility to the junction with Park Road. Members can clearly see from that photograph that it is considered acceptable. Highways have raised no objections to the application. If we can just go through the rest of the photographs, please. Those are the walls that you can see going down opposite the properties in Greenfield Terrace. So this is certainly no higher than any of those, Chair. So from our point of view, there is no visual impact issue. And that is just a photograph showing the inside where, you know, the applicant, to be fair, has done a very tidy job in putting the area to lawn with gravel adjacent to the house, Chair. So as I say, it is a relatively straightforward application. We don't feel that there is any adverse impact on neighbouring properties. And from a highway point of view, colleagues in highways have confirmed that there is no highway concern or objection to the proposal. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Mr. Bailey. I have to agree, I can't see a big problem with that. It's really unfortunate that Mrs. Rizzoli was given the information she was, that it didn't require planning consent, because I'm sure had she been given that permission, that the planning consent would have been sought before the fence was erected. And I think the uncertainty has left her in a position that's quite uncomfortable, really, hasn't it? But I'll go first to members now. So first, Councillor Bonetto.
Thanks, Chair. Having read the reports, and particularly the Highways report, I don't see any objection to this planning application, and I'm happy to approve, Chair.
So you're going to make, that's a formal motion to approve, Councillor?
Yes, Chair.
Thanks. I'll go next to Councillor Ross Williams. You had your hand up second.
Thank you, Chair. Yeah, I have to agree. It's for me, it's as straightforward really as they come. It's a very nice job. I can't see no problems whatsoever. Quite happy to second the motion.
Thanks. Next to Councillor Graham.
Thank you, Chair. I just want to apologise. I lost a little bit of connection at the beginning of this discussion. So although I don't see any problems with this application, I won't be able to vote. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks for letting me know, Councillor. Councillor Emmanuel.
Apologies, Chair, that was a legacy hand. I was going to second Councillor Bonetto.
Okay, thanks, Councillor. And I've got no other hands up at this point. So in that case, I've got a motion that's been seconded. I'll ask Mr. Humphreys to put the motion to members, please.
Thank you, Chair. The motion for members is to approve the application in line with officer's recommendation.
Okay. I'll now go to the vote. I'll go first to Councillor Bonetto.
Approve the recommendation, Chair.
Thank you. Councillor Dennis.
In line, please, Chair.
Councillor Emmanuel.
In line with the recommendations, please, Chair.
I'll skip Councillor Graham. Councillor Hughes.
In line with the motion, please, Chair.
Thanks. Councillor Lewis.
In line with the motion, Chair.
Is Councillor Powell with us?
No, Chair.
No. Okay. Councillor Smith.
In line with the motion, please, Chair.
Councillor Tompkinson.
In line with the motion, please, Chair.
And Councillor Williams.
In line with the motion, Chair.
Thank you. Mr. Humphreys, could you sum up the members' decision, please?
Thank you, Chair. This is to confirm that members have resolved to approve application 230953 in line with officer's recommendation. Thank you, Chair.
Thanks very much, Mr. Humphreys. We now move on to...
Lewis, all right?